Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be looking at battle user interface. Right now we are in the first PvE mission, so you don't have to be afraid that I'm not playing and losing the battle for my team. It is just me in here. As you can see in the left top corner, there is no other players and I can pretty much take as much time as I want to finish this mission. So I will have enough time to actually explain what's included in battle user interface and so on and so on. So let's start with the thing you can see right now. What you can see right now is pretty much what you will see every time you enter the battle, unless you kinda customize it yourself. Let's start from the top to bottom. On the left top corner over here you can see that here is only my tank, which is T64, and its tier is written right next to it, which is 4. Also there are 5 other icons over here which you can change. You can change pretty much the size of this list. In the normal PvP battle there will be 15 players on this side and 15 enemy players on this side over here on right. So you can pretty much change it and customize it to whatever you want or completely hide it. I like it having it this way because I'm not really interested in player's name. I just need to know what tanks are against me. Right next to it there is a little outline, white outline, and the text that says outgoing damage. This is basically a thing I will talk a little later in this video as well, but it shows you damage that you have done in your current battle. In normal PvP battle you will also see over here team information window, where you will see small icons of the tanks that are still alive, count of how many players are still alive, or how many players are dead, because it actually changes in the middle of the battle, and enemy team. So your team, enemy team, and counter. I will probably post a picture of it into the video, but right now as I'm recording from the game I don't have it here because I'm in PvE. And as I said, in PvP you will see enemy players roster over here. Right now in PvE you see primary objective, and sometimes you can have a secondary objective as well over here. The other thing on the right top corner is your FPS counter and information about your ping. I believe you can turn it off. We'll come into that later. Over here you can see another white outline. Basically over here you will see the basic information, who killed who, and also information when you spot someone. It will give you information here that it's your spotted enemy. Basically say spotted and the name of the enemy. And over here you can see the minimap. Also you can scale this. I like it a little bigger so I can actually tell where the enemy is on it. If you hold Control key you can click on it and pretty much give information to your team, spam, but you are limited I believe to 3 spams in a time. It also says over here, so if you see this sound, someone in your team is pinging on the minimap, and it's pretty useful to check it so you know what's going on and why is someone clicking there. On the bottom over here you can see your ammunition 1 to 5, and then you can see your consumables. I don't have any because this is not my tank. This is tank that games gives you to play this first PvE mission from 6 to 9. About that you can see another white outline. In here you will see information about critical damage that you receive, I think. I'm not quite sure about this thing, but I think that it gives you information on some, like you get detracked, you will see the information here that your tracks are damaged or gone or whatever else. More to the left you can see another white outline. It says incoming damage. Here I can see who shot me with what ammunition and what damage he done. I can't see the name, I can only see the tank that shot me, which is, yeah, it makes sense. So you can't target only the player that's shooting you, especially when it's someone you don't see and later in game, oh, whatever. And more to the left you see your vehicle information, and this is pretty much the second most important thing in my opinion. The first thing is the minimap, and this one is second. It gives you information about your vehicle. uh, before I explain all these things, and yeah, and also in the middle you can see your aiming reticle. Okay, sorry for this, cat, my video recording stopped because the mission actually ended, so it's not infinite. As I was saying, in the middle over here you can see your aiming reticle. When you turn your turret, it follows you pretty much. Also over here you see the time that you need to reload, so if I shoot, you will see that it shows you the reload time and it goes up. And on the right side you can see how much health point you have, which is basically for the players that go in here and focus only on the enemy target, that they can all still see what's their health status, because taking look left down is pretty hard for probably a lot of players, who knows. And also it tells you the distance to the enemy target, so pretty much if you aim at someone it will tell you how far away it is. Yeah, so I wanted to move on to the settings. So if you go to escape and settings and user interface, you can see all these things over here. Basically this is your way to customizing your user interface in game. As you can see right now I'm on a minimap folder, whatever. You can change the transparency, you can scale it up and down. Right now I have it on 135%, or you can hide it totally. Please don't do this. Minimap is really freaking important. Don't hide it. You can make it smaller, but have it at least really small, but have it, please. Right? Because then you don't know what's going on the map pretty much, unless you check all around yourself every time. Then there is a vehicle status. It's this left down. You can also hide it, make it less visible or more visible, and scale it so it's bigger or smaller. I don't need it bigger or smaller right now, so I'm just keeping it on the 100%. And just to show you, if I change it to 150, it's go way bigger. Like, this is crazy big. You don't need this too big. If you want a mini map this big, go on, go for it. But this, you really don't need it this big. It's pretty big already. Reticle over here, so you can also hide it. Pretty much this thing is for everything in here. Some things have like these little checkboxes you can see over here. So distance to the target, it's this information over here that I was showing you before. Your health points remaining, it's this bar on the right side, and ammo reload is this bar on the left side. So if you think that you don't need one of those things, you can turn it off. I don't personally see a reason why to do it. Like, does it bother you? Because it doesn't bother me. Then there is a toolbar, which is pretty much your ammunition and consumables. You can hide it, which in my opinion is pretty silly, because you won't know what ammunition you have on one spot. Or you can scale it up and down, which is also kind of not important, but you can do it. It's in here, you can do this. And the same goes for FPS and ping. So this screen over here, you can hide it, click apply. When I close my window, you see that the ping information and FPS screen is gone. I pretty much like it, especially when I'm recording videos, to see how much FPS I have. So here we go. Chat, you can hide it or make it also transparent, bigger, smaller, whatever. Then there is a Battlelog. The same thing, you can hide it, scale it. The thing about chat, that if you go to the social tab over here, you can change. You can either mute the chat for all and team, or you can disable emoticons, or disable the profanity filter. So you can do some little changes over here, or you can enable message timestamps, like you don't need it, but it's over here. It's in social tab. So if you want to customize your chat even more, you have to go over here and you can change some things. Then you have Battlelog. Yeah, I was talking about this. Also, only those three options. Team list. You can choose if you want to hide friendly or enemy team, or change the scale or the transparency. If you want to hide this thing, you don't have to go to options. You can just hold control, I believe, and click the icon on the left top. Like you can see over here, these icons, you click this one and it's hidden, but it will appear, I believe, when the new battle starts. So if you want to have hidden it for the every battle, you click this and it will just hide itself totally. Scoreboard, also only these 3 options. Challenges, 3 options. Enemy tag, this is also kinda important. So you see, this is pretty much show vehicle badge is this icon over here. If I disable it and I click apply, it disappears. Vehicle model is the name of the vehicle the enemy player is in, so you can also hide this thing. Player name is the name of the player, you can hide it as well. Vehicle health is this information over here. The bad thing about this is that you can decide if you want to have it in percent or in the number form, but at least it's in here, because this game doesn't support any mods yet, and it probably won't support any mods, so it's a good thing that they put this in. Then you have damage received, which is the information that pops out if you hit the enemy above it. You can disable as well. And module damage is the information I might be able to show you once I start this mission and I move on a little and I meet the first enemy, but basically I will enable all these things on. Basically, when you aim at the enemy, you can notice little information will pop out over here in this area, and it will show you the crew members of the enemy player and its modules. And if any of his modules is damaged, it will show you either orange color or red color. You don't need any crew skills for this, it will do automatically from the beginning. So if you aim at the enemy, you will be able to see information about his vehicle. So let's continue. Friendly tag, pretty much the same goes for the friendlies. You can see the damage module damage over here. See, it disappears. So yeah, pretty much the same information goes for the friendly players as well. And then there is this really important tab, it's called hit details. And if you want to have this outgoing damage screen and incoming damage screen that I have down here, you have to uncheck these boxes, because by default they are checked, so it means that they are hidden. You can uncheck them and it will show you outgoing damage box and incoming damage box. That's pretty much it for user interface settings. One more note to the outgoing damage and incoming damage. If you hold your control key, you can move these elements around. You can place them wherever you want, wherever you think it is the best, and it will just snap in, customize itself, turn the title or the box, and because by default they are up here underneath the team score. So I decided to move them a little to my sides, because incoming damage is not that important, so I don't have to see only when I want to, and this is kind of what I'm interested in, so I want to have it in my line of sight, like, so I don't have to move my eyes pretty much. Yeah, so that would be for the settings. Then there is the F1 key. If you press the F1 key, this screen will pop out. This is basically a tutorial for the battle user interface, and especially the Reticle. But yeah, I will include it a little, because there are some things I can't show you if it doesn't happen. But pretty much you don't have time to watch this in battle most of the time. If you have time to watch this, it means you are camping, and you should not camp. So yeah, so what I want to point out over here, so this is pretty much the aiming reticle over here, and important. So there's some vehicles in this game have smoke grenades. Smoke grenades, you can see over here how many charges of smokes you have. You will see this, there is a little line that separates it. It tells you how many charges you have, and or it's actually only a real, no, this number over here is the number of charges you still have remaining. This is pretty much the reload when you can launch another charge. This is the information I was talking about. When you aim on the enemy vehicle, you will be able to see his modules and which one of them are damaged. So this guy has his driver damaged or wounded, his fuel tank damaged, his wheel, and his gunner sight, I believe, or APS. Another important thing from this screen are these icons on top of here. So first icons give you information about when you are in water, if you are flooding or not. It goes from 10 seconds to 0. If it's 0, you are dead. This little yellow box over here gives you information if there is an ATGM, which is a guided rocket, going for you, or for someone else that is really close to you. It will give you that information as well, even though you are not targeted or at the moment. Icon in the middle is the spotted icon. So if you get spotted, you will see this. There is, I think, 1.5-second delay between this information pops out for you. So yeah, keep in mind that you might get spotted and shot and just then see this icon. But also it is in the game as this bar over here. It's in game from the beginning. You don't need a crew skill, you don't need anything. You will see this every time you get spotted, even on tier 1. Next to it, to the right, is the icon that artillery is shooting at you or at someone really close to you. So every time arty shoots near you or at you, you will hear this, and also you will see this and hear the information incoming strike or incoming artillery or something. And the last icon on this is the fire icon. It's red. It pops out when you are on fire. It also makes a little sound, which is, in my opinion, really quiet. So pay attention to this icon. They pop out, as you can see in here. There is your aim reticle. They pop out pretty much over here, all above it over here. So just have in mind that warning sound that you're on fire is really quiet, so you have to pay attention to this. This little gray arrow over here tells you when you are getting shot at but you don't receive any damage, so you pretty much bounce, or it's eaten by some of your modules, but it's pretty much only for the bounce, because when some of your modules hits it, you get this red arrow. This one tells you that you have been damaged. A health point damage or critical damage, doesn't matter. You have been damaged, and it shows you the direction from where the shell came in. This white arrow gives you an information when you spot the enemy target. Where did you spot him? Behind you, in front of you, to your right, left. This little arrow. If you spot multiple targets, I think right now it sometimes gets bugged that you see only one arrow, but you should see multiple arrows. That you spot 5 tanks, so you will see 5 arrows pop out and you will know where they are. APS is a system that pretty much shuts down the rockets. It also has some recharge or reload, so once your APS goes off, you don't control this. You have to wait for another, I think it's a minute, before it can be used again. And vehicle markers over here, you can see pretty much just the definition on what vehicle is what. I believe that's it from here. So this is F1 key. You can turn it off. To get into sniper mode, you just usually press the shift, and also you can see all the controls when you press F1. So if you need to get information in battle really quick and you don't have time to go to controls in settings, I believe, you can just check it here really fast. What key is bind to what action. Yeah. So let's move on. I want to talk a little more about this vehicle information on the bottom left. So if you take a look, you can pretty much tell that this here means how much health points you still have. This is the number. But yeah, you could tell that even without me, I guess. What's next? Every vehicle has its own icon, so you can when you change the vehicles, this icon will change. Unlike World of Tanks, I think, where you still have the...
Remember, where your turret is looking is not the same as where your wheels are pointing.
Okay, man, just be quiet. It's an AI, basically, because we are in PvE. So, as I was saying, this changes with the vehicle you are driving. On the left, in here, you will be able to see your crew. If you hold your control button, you will see the mouse cursor, and if you go above one of the crew members, you will see who it is. So commander, driver, gunner. Some of the tanks have a loader, one or two, maybe radio operator. I'm not quite sure if it's in here as well. I think there is only a commander, driver, gunner, and loaders. You can have two of them. Yeah, so that's it. Down here you can see your camouflage factor. This is really important thing, especially if you're playing light tanks. You can always tell what's your camo factor right now. It doesn't include vegetation at this moment, but it shows you when you shoot, it goes down. You see, it's pretty much on the zero for the main battle tank. When I don't move, it pops out again a little. When you move, it goes down as well, pretty much to zero. When I stop, it goes back again. Some of the tanks, I think those are light tanks. They don't lose their light tanks or tank destroyers. I think light tanks or armor fighting vehicles, whatever, doesn't matter. One of the vehicle classes has the ability that it doesn't change, so you can move, but your camouflage factor stays the same. It changes only when you shoot. So keeping in mind that you can pretty much check your camo factor over here as well. I think that in future it should include vegetation, so if you hide behind something, it will go up. I'm not quite sure if it works right now, but I don't think so, because this vehicle doesn't have a big camouflage. But even when I'm in a lightly armored vehicle that has pretty serious camouflage factor, it doesn't go up anymore, even though I'm behind a bush. Next, you can see these little grayish boxes, or I don't know, lines, whatever. Those tell you if from what side you are in some kind of cover. Okay, so right now you can see that from this side I have plenty of rocks, so I'm in cover pretty much, something like this angle. So this side of the tank is covered. There is only a little ground between me and those rocks, so it counts as cover. Over here there is a lot more space, so some enemy can be behind me. It shows me that I'm not in cover. The same goes for this area, and over here there is a little house. You can see it over there, so it shows you again here that there is a little something providing me a bit of cover for this part of the tank pretty much. And then there is something even little smaller in front of me. You can see it through the bush, but there is the little something over here, and it tells you as well that you have some object in front of you when my gun is pointing right now. Pretty much corresponds with this, and it tells you that there is a little cover. If I go in a more interesting position like this and I'm moving, you can see that these grayish lines are moving as well and showing you where you are getting cover from. Right now I'm in here. It shows you that pretty much from this side I'm covered totally, and from the front I'm covered little by the bush, little by the hillside. It also means from the side, so some bit of my tank is covered a little, but not much. If we go totally in the open, where I don't know where I will find open space right now, is here. So yeah, it also changes. It tells you a little if you are covered from bushes. This gives you an information. It actually may work. I haven't read some official statement about this yet. So, but yeah, it's kind of questionable. Don't count on it that bushes give you camouflage factor. Some of this might provide you cover, but it doesn't show you over here. So maybe it's just this information. Because right now it would fit the situation that I have a little cover from my left. It shows here, because there is also a little slope on the hill, so they don't have a really nice shots at me. And there is a cover from in front of me, but it might be only those actual buildings. So yeah, don't really count on it. Pretty much always check it yourself. Alright, if you are in this kind of a position, you can tell that this means rocks, this means over here another rocks from here. But it's always good to check it yourself just by turning your camera around if they actually can see you or not. And then you have these information panels over here, which are your modules. I don't think that all tanks have all the modules, because this one is for the autoloader and not many tanks have the autoloader. So I'm not quite sure, but those are pretty much usual. Commander side, gunner side. Also, if you hold the control button and you just go with mouse over them, you can see what's what. So turret, tracks, engine, ammunition, and gas tank, ammo rack, ammunition. Now, if it gets damaged, it's either orange or red. If it's red, it means that it's really destroyed and it should be repairing itself by some time. And for example, if your tracks are damaged, you will see them as red, and you will see a little timer over here that will tell you how long it takes to actually have them repaired. It is not shown here, sadly. So yeah, that's pretty much for the battle user interface. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. No, I didn't actually. One more thing, pretty much probably the last one. If you hold your Y key, it gives you this circle menu where you can choose what you want to say to your team. I think it's pretty much the same as in World of Tanks. You get defend, affirmative, negative, help, reloading, thank you, and attack. Like, you can click attack. It has some cooldown, so you just can't spam them and so on. But they also change it. If you aim at the friendly, you will have like follow me or thank you, not thank you, fall back. What else it might be for the friendly? Don't know. And if you aim at the enemy, for example, instead of attack, you will see that requesting fire on the target that you are aiming at, and so on. Yeah, I think I covered it all. If not, and you have any question at all, ask it in the comments below. I will answer them there, and yeah, that should be it for this pretty much. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, and if you wanna see other videos from me or only from the basic guide, just subscribe to my channel and you will see them in your feed. So yeah, that would be pretty much it. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. I've played World of Tanks and War Thunder and spent hundreds of hours in those games. So this series of videos will be marked as Armored Warfare Basic Guide. I